Animal activists raiding a New Zealand pig farm in the middle of the night.
This place is disgusting.
They're filming themselves to record their protest.
We can hardly breathe in these conditions because of...
There's a war going on.
There's cockroaches crawling all up and down the walls.
For hearts and minds.
Some of the sows here are so sick that they're actually not even moving.
They've been undercover for years, but New Zealand's animal activists like Deirdre Sims are now openly breaking into factory farms, stealing animals, showing their faces and daring the police to arrest them.
But what you're doing essentially is stealing.
Unfortunately, because the law sees animals as things, as property, yes, it is stealing, but that's in the eyes of the law. What we're doing is we're saving these animals, we're rescuing them, we're taking them out of these appalling conditions and giving them a chance to live a natural, decent life.
You know you could go to prison for that.
I'm not really concerned, to be honest. I mean, I think millions of animals... Sorry.
It obviously does upset you.
Yeah, it does. Not the thought of going to prison, but I mean, just millions of animals are suffering in New Zealand each year, and I mean, the thought of going to prison or court, I mean, it just means it's nothing in comparison.
Last year, the Agriculture Minister Jim Anderton gave the egg industry an exemption from the animal welfare laws. It meant they could continue to use these size cages for battery hens. He ignored a recommendation from Parliament's Regulations Review Committee that the cages breached the Animal Welfare Act. When Jim Anderton said it would be a seismic shift for the industry, it was the last straw for the activists.
And at that point, you know, there was no other lobbying to do, there was no one else left to convince, and we thought, well, the only option now, if the minister is going to ignore public opinion, is to go and break the law.
How far are you prepared to go?
The aim is to win. The aim is to abolish factory farming in this country. And so we'll do whatever it takes, you know, to get that result.
Overseas, there have been bombings, arsons, threats to people.
Not something I would do. I don't know. As long as no one gets hurt, you know, I don't have a problem with any kind of costing the farmers money. As long as no animals or people get hurt, I'm fine with that.
Open Rescue now regularly conducts illegal entries into factory farms to steal animals since they decided to take the law into their own hands. They film all the raids themselves, including this one at a broiler chicken farm near Auckland. Deirdre Sims of Open Rescue believes these chickens are being grown for the fast food industry.
This chicken here, her skeleton cannot support the weight of her body because she's been selectively bred to grow it at an abnormally fast rate.
There are around 100 activists involved in animal rescue in New Zealand, all prepared to openly flout the law.
Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Madam Speaker.
Sunday made repeated requests to Jim Anderton, the Agriculture Minister, and Michael Brooks, who represents the poultry industry, for an on-camera interview on animal activism. Both Jim Anderton and Michael Brooks declined, stating they didn't want to give animal activists any further publicity that may fuel illegal behaviour. The industry says it follows strict guidelines set down by the government, but factory farming is a touchy issue and commercially sensitive for the poultry industry. It's spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on PR and lobbying the government, and goes to great lengths to control the message. This is footage of a factory farm supplied to TVNZ by the Egg Producers Federation. But it's a sharp contrast to what the activists say they find inside the farms. Opinion polls show a majority of New Zealanders are opposed to factory farming, and every time images like these are shown, sales take a hit. Animal activists say they're winning the battle for the hearts and minds of consumers,